Hi guys, Brooke from Snuggly Fox Designs here. Today we're going to be talking about carrying the yarn with us as we work. So this is actually a side of a purse. It's going to be a toddler-sized purse, and both of the sides have this checkered pattern. So as you can see, this is what it looks like when it's all done. This is the right side, and this is the wrong side. I haven't woven in all of these ends yet. So what we're going to do is, now to start off this pattern, all you have to do is chain the amount that you, or however wide you want the bag. Mine was chained to 9 inches. And this pattern is going to be for sale in my Ravelry shop when it's done. So I'm not going to tell you how many I chained. But anyway, so I chained, and then you do single crochet back this way. And then you start this pattern here, and this is the same up here, the same pattern as the one up here, so I'm just going to start it up here. So this is the right side of our work. Now we always want to carry the yarn on the wrong side. So for every other row, you're either going to carry it on the back or on the front. So on this one, we're going to carry it behind this way over our stitches, so it's going to be on the back. So what we do is, we're going to chain 1, and as you can see, I'm starting out with blue. So I have my blue here, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to hold the stitches behind when I turn. Now I'm going to put my hook in this first blue stitch here, and I'm also going to grab these loops behind it, the other colors, and I'm going to hold it behind it. And you do your single crochet just like that. Now you keep going and keeping the red and the white yarn behind your work. And this can get a little bit tangled. If you're sticking out here, just pull your yarn and it'll hide in there. Plus we're also going to be putting a black border, so it'll help this look a little bit better too. So you keep going until you're at your very last stitch, but in order to chain colors, you don't finish off that last stitch yet. So you have 2 loops on your hook, and now we need 2 white stitches. So we have our white here, and we're going to pull our white through the stitch like that. So that's the end of our blue stitches, and now we have our white stitches. Now you're going to hold your blue and your red behind it, and keep it back like that. So we have our white stitch, our next white stitch, but don't finish that one yet. Now we have our red. Whoop, here, there we go. And you finish with the red. Now you can kind of pull this down a little bit because it loosened the stitch up. Now you have your white and your blue behind. So you continue to work with the colors behind it all the way across. Don't finish your red yet. Go back to your white. Now like I said, it can get pretty tangled up. So if you want to work with bobbins, that's a great idea. This piece is not very big, so I chose to just literally untangle it after every row. It's, you know, there's not very many stitches, so it doesn't get too terribly tangled. So, okay, so here's one thing you can do. Now, if you notice, there's a little bit of white and red peeking through there. If you want to, you can put your hook underneath it and kind of pull those stitches up like that, and make your crochet like that, just for some of the stitches. Now be aware, because some of them, like see I did it here almost a little bit too much, so it actually brought the stitch down a lot farther than this one. So if you do it here, make sure you pull it way up with you. So see how this one was pulled up to the same height as this one right there. So that's a little trick that you can do if you want to. Anyway, so you just follow this pattern all the way across, and then I'll show you what we do for the other side, because then the other side, when you're carrying the yarn, you have to have the yarn on the front side. Now we're at the end of our row here, and we're going to finish with our last stitch, fully finish. So then if your next row here is a different color, then you would just chain 1 and turn in your next color. This particular row is still blue though, so we're going to chain 1 in the blue and turn. Now here again is our wrong side, so you can see all these. Now this is going to be on the inside of the purse, so it doesn't matter. This is our right side, this is our good side here. So what we do is we have to carry these ones on the back side now. So normally I would untangle my yarn at this point. So you hold on to the blue and you're going to continue these stitches in blue, but you hide these ones behind it. So just make sure that you are counting as you go across, because this part, especially when your yarn is kind of covering the stitches, it can be a little bit difficult to make sure that you have the correct number of stitches and that you're putting it in the correct spot. So you should always be counting with graphs anyways. Sometimes I don't count because like if it's just a row like this, you know, you don't really have to count, but you need to count, so make sure that you're counting. So then you just finish the row like this and switch. And like I said, normally I would untangle all this yarn, so that's why it's like looking like a pain in the butt to crochet it, but it's just because I haven't untangled it yet. So you just keep going across just like that and holding it behind you just like that, and you finish for that row. So that's how I do it, at least. So just make sure that you're carrying the yarn on the wrong side of your piece. And then when you're all done, you just weave in all of your ends. And then what I did after that was I made a black border for that part. All right, guys, I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thanks.